Good evening, everybody. I'm Dan Hanger.
And I'm Nikki Davidson.
We are now, as you can see, not in the studio because our power is out, just like many of you as well. But we are directly at 24th Avenue East and 1st Street here in Duluth, one of the harder hit areas where some of the trees, the tops of them are just busted off. We're going to be talking to a homeowner here who's had a tree fall on their car. That kind of thing, but what do we got going on your side?
I talked to some first responders in the area, the Duluth Fire Department. They told me that the lakeside area is one of the hardest hit areas. They say that they have been going nonstop since last night, and in a lot of areas like this, it looks like a bomb went off. And they've never seen anything this dramatic before.
And when you think about it, okay, so the power's out. We got a heat issue too. We're going to talk to Gino in just a second. You wonder about injuries. Injuries reported in the Twin Ports area, none. However, we are finding out that in the Boundary Water Canoe area wilderness, there were a Boy Scout group there from Texas, and unfortunately a Boy Scout did die, and one of the adult volunteers.
Yes, unfortunately. Well, we're going to bring in meteorologist Gino Recchia right now. Gino, can you kind of explain what happened last night that led to all of this?
Right, so we had a cluster of thunderstorms. We were actually talking about at the 9 o'clock newscast last night, and we were kind of worrisome. Maybe these storms could actually continue to move off to the east and impact us. Now, I did mention that these storms would actually occur overnight around 3 or 4 o'clock, which actually ended up being the case here in the Duluth area. So we just had a line of storms that pushed through, and there was actually a little swath of area that had actually some damage. You look towards Grand Rapids all the way through that Duluth area, we had wind damage in the 50s, 60s. It was actually 69-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Duluth International Airport. What tops the list is actually 75 miles per hour in Ashland.
Oh, wow.
And then there was a lot of reports of tree damage across the area as well. And we had severe thunderstorm watches in effect, and it was a bad time, especially at night when people were sleeping.
And the lightning was crazy.
A lot of people got woken up. I know I did. I saw all of that lightning. It was so bright, so loud that I couldn't sleep. So.
Right, and it's a worse day to have a power outage because of how hot and muggy it is.
Excessive heat, dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. We have that heat advisory that continues until this evening. It's going to be hot tomorrow, around 90 degrees, but it's not going to be as humid, so that'll be the benefit. However, in the extended outlook, we actually have more severe thunderstorm chances on Saturday, so I'll talk about that later on in the newscast.
Got it, yeah, and we're actually kind of lucky here because we're right next to the lake. We're at least getting a breeze. Imagine what people are doing over the hill. So now let's bring in Jason Jacobson. He is a homeowner here, and Jason, you just come right over here. Tell me a little bit about you woke up to what?
Well, we woke up around 3:30 this morning. As you see, I live on the 3rd floor here. Couldn't actually see out there. I could see about 3 feet in front because it was so windy and it was raining.
Right.
So I didn't actually know that there was a tree until we came out here around 6 in the morning, and that's when the tree was down here blocking the street as well.
Looks like a big pine tree here from the neighbors.
Yeah, and then this morning we called the city and they came and chopped it down.
Chopped it up.
And,
so, yeah.
And could you hear it? Like, could you hear trees coming down in the area last night?
We could hear behind our house as well. The pine tree back there also split, and you could hear them all breaking down here. Right in front of our house here, there was some branches down as well, right outside our bedroom window. So.
Okay, the car. Oh, your poor car.
Yeah.
What do we got going on here? There used to be...
Poor Petey. It's a real loss. Yeah, so this was shattered this morning when I came out, and then the guy came and chopped this off. But yeah, I didn't expect it.
Have you tried calling the insurance agency a lot? I'm sure that there's a lot of people going through this similar situation.
The insurance agency, I called them this morning right when I had it, and they said it'd be 48 hours because they had more than 50 out here just in this area.
And you were for United Healthcare. They're closed too, right? What did they tell you?
Yep, this morning I just got an email. Their power was out as well. I think it did end up going back at 11 this morning or something like that. But yeah, it was out and they sent an email, so they were closed for a good 5 hours.
So I guess you just try to stay cool and you get the day off.
Yeah, I guess. I'm sure.
All right, Jason, thank you much. Appreciate it very much. So, yeah.
And something we forgot to say, I mean, our power is out at the station, too. That's why we're out here today. So we are going to do the entire newscast out here on the scene and give you an idea of what everyone is experiencing in this area.
And so this is a tape broadcast for you. We're going to come back after the break. We're going to be talking more. You're probably wondering, like, where's a cooling station? There's some over at Island Lake. There's some at the big one is at the deck where the air conditioning is running, and there's supplies and stuff there, too. More stories coming up after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. We are actually out on location because the power is out at our Fox 21 studio. So we are going to be doing this entire newscast taped on the scene of all of the damage that we've seen from last night's storms.
Right here we're at 24th Avenue East and 1st Street. Where trees are down, that type of thing, power's out. Talking about here, the heat though. I'm sweating, I always sweat, but it's awfully warm. And thankfully we're next to the lake, by the way, but just over the hill, that kind of thing. It's really, really hot, dangerously hot. So.
And we've been talking for the last couple of days that these today and tomorrow are supposed to be some of the hottest days that we've seen the entire year. We've been giving a lot of advice about people staying inside, staying cool. The problem is now without electricity in a lot of parts, people don't have air conditioning, especially the elderly or the very young. So there is some programs in the city to kind of try to keep people cool.
Right, and so we're talking about the deck, right? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
The deck, that's where the city has set up kind of a staging area, and the air conditioning is working there. Everything's good, so that's where you can head on over to there, and that's where Adrian Robbins, by the way, with Fox 21, picks it up with that side of the story.
Well, Dan and Nikki, we're down here at Amsoil Arena that normally plays home to the Bulldogs, but today it has a little bit of a different purpose. From the deck with me is Shelly Townsend. And Shelly, can you tell me a little bit about what the deck is offering people who might be trying to get away from the heat today?
Sure. We got a call from the city this morning, and they asked us if we would be a cooling shelter. And so we opened our doors, and you can feel that it's really cold. We have an ice rink, and tomorrow we have a hockey tournament, so it's nice and cool in here, and people have been coming in and they're walking their children. They have strollers. People can bring their dogs if they like. I know people worry about the dogs in this kind of warm temperature. They can bring them in here, and they can just sit down. Just a good place to cool off. And then there's also areas in the rest of our building where they can walk around and keep cool.
Great. And for what times will this be offered today and maybe even tomorrow?
We're open until 10 o'clock tonight. We know it's going to cool down then. And then tomorrow we'll open again at 10 a.m. and we'll stay open until 10 p.m. And of course, that we hope the power is up before then and that we don't have to stay open. But we're planning on 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
And the deck isn't offering food or showers or anything, but you guys do have water. You do have plenty of places for people to sit. Can people bring their own food in?
Sure, people can bring food. We don't want cooking utensils in here, but you can bring food, and we'll have water. We have bathrooms, and so far we have running water. Everything's just comfortable, and people can take a nap if they need to, just make themselves comfortable.
And Shelly, it's not only the deck that's offering services too, but the DTA is here to help out.
Right. The DTA generously offered to pick up anyone free who just goes to a regular bus stop. And once they get to the Duluth Transportation Center, which is just on the other side of the skywalk, they can either walk the skywalk over, or the DTA will take them in a shuttle and bring them right to our door.
And at what point did the deck decide to step up and help the community out, and obviously a time of need, not only the heat, but people losing electricity?
Right. Well, we were just getting ready for our day this morning, and the city called us and told us that the power was going to be out longer than they thought, and they were concerned about our citizens and asked if we would provide a cool shelter.
All right, thanks. And thank you so much, Shelly, for all that you're doing today. Good luck with everything. Dan and Nikki, we're going to head back to you in the sweltering heat. We're staying very cool out here by the ice rink, though.
All right, thanks, Adrian, for that report there from the deck. Now we're talking about the power outages. We've been getting messages through Facebook. I've been getting text messages. When's it going to come on? What about my block? We don't know.
Yeah, and our power's out too, so we're right there with you.
Minnesota Power is, of course, have all their crews on board. Obviously, they're seeing probably one of the busiest times in a long time, frankly, to get power back on.
And speaking of busy times, it's also a really busy time for a lot of fire departments, like the Duluth Fire Department. I actually talked to the assistant chief earlier today, and he told me that they have really been going nonstop since 3:30 this morning. That's kind of when the storm started moving through. He said that they have been to a lot of different incidents, including lightning that hit a house in one area, and they also say that this is the worst that they have seen it for a very long time. I know that this particular individual has worked here for 50 years, and he said that he's never seen anything like this. He said he literally said it looks like a bomb went off, and he was saying as far as tree damage and their side of things, that things might not get back to normal for a couple of weeks now. So
yeah, that's a long time. Hopefully that'll be pushed up a little bit.
Yes.
I'm hoping. But
and as far as power, we do know once again that there were at least 300,000 people at one point this afternoon without power.
All over the Northland there.
In this area. So hopefully we will learn more about when they're expected to get everyone back online and kind of deal with the the problems. We can all go back to normal life.
I know, right? But anyway, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back with more coverage on the storm. We are in front of that tree we've been talking about that landed on the car over there, as you can see. I mean, whew, it's a big one.
Sawdust in the air.
Yeah, I mean, look at this, just snapped right in there. It is really hot out here, by the way.
Yes, we are doing our show once again out here because the power is off on our studio. We have to thank London Road Rental Center for letting us use a generator to be able to put this on the air for you guys today. Definitely a crazy day, though, Gino.
Yes, a very crazy day. I mean, we all went to bed last night, and a lot of us didn't even think anything was going to happen. And then we wake up at 3 in the morning. And
you did say the storms were coming.
I did say, but a lot of people just, you go to bed. Yeah, and you don't really expect anything, and then all of a sudden, practically all hell breaks loose with all these storms, the winds, the lightning, the thunder, and you can see all the damage that has been going on. The good news is, right now, as we take a look at that cold front that pushed through the area, that is now away from us, so at least we're starting to see some better conditions as we go on into the future cast. We have a chance of more showers and thunderstorms as we move on towards Saturday, where another storm is going to actually brew and cause even some more showers and storms in the area. But until then, Friday looks not too bad. It's just going to be another hot one with mostly sunny skies, so at least we'll still have some time to clean up the storm damage across the area. In terms of the high temperatures that we saw this afternoon, we had upper 80s and lower 90s. Actually, the warmest spots were right along the lakeshore because of a westerly wind that brought in some downslope winds, compressed the air, and warmed us up. We'll actually cool off into the upper 60s tonight, Dan and Nikki, so it's going to be a little muggy. And then tomorrow I'm going with a high of 90 degrees up on the hill and a little bit warmer along the lake, 93 with still winds out of the west-northwest, 5 to 10, and then a chance of severe thunderstorms on Saturday, going with a high of 83. So at least it's a little bit better, but we still have to watch out for those storms for any of you who have those afternoon plans going up across the area.
So it could be potentially severe.
Yes, they could be as severe. The morning doesn't look too bad. It's towards the afternoon and evening, that's when those storms look to be firing up. I was looking.
So much moisture.
It is. It's so damp, tropical. It doesn't really take much to really spark off these showers and storms.
Out of my face.
Well,
so
you just got some on me there.
Sorry about that.
This has been
now you're hydrated.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's been a very active summer. We had tornadoes a few weeks ago. We had the flash flooding last week, and now we had this crazy severe wind-driven storms this week. So, I mean, it's a very interesting pattern going on. We had an El Nino winter. We had a lot of snow, but it was warm. And now we have a very hot summer, and it's a very active summer. So maybe this might, what does this mean for the winter? Who knows?
Yeah,
we'll
and like we said, it's an active summer. Some places have already been hit by storm damage, and they got hit again today. We are actually going to check in with them coming up after this break.
Okay, we're back here at 24th Avenue East and First Street, just one of the areas, just one, that was hit hard here by the severe winds that came through about 3:30-ish in the morning.
It's fairly recognizable. I feel like we're in the middle of a forest with
There's a big tree that fell down.
Yeah, and a couple cars that are looking a little bit worse for the wear back here.
Thankfully, no injuries here, but the interesting part is this happened in a pretty wide area, and one of the different places outside of the metro area would be Island Lake, and you know about Island Lake because just I think it was was it a couple weeks ago? 2 or so weeks ago when the wind just came barreling through there and all the trees came down. Well, now they've been hit again.
Yeah,
and that's
so
where
this
Chelsea
is the second mess. Chelsea will tell us more.
In Island Lake, community members are working to repair what the storm has damaged. Power poles have been knocked down, houses were moved off of their foundation, and trees all around are knocked over. This chaos causing quite a scare for locals.
My husband went up there earlier this morning, and there's big white pines on the power lines, and there's smoking, and, there's damage all over the place.
Not only are community members repairing their homes, nearby businesses are either closed or only accepting cash because none of their computers are working because of the power outages.
I have the doors locked, but when I see somebody coming in, I'll ask them what they need, If they have cash, I can take it, but, so I can't take credit cards or anything.
The storm hit very early this morning. It happened fast with heavy rain and strong wind.
The thunder was pretty loud, and the lightning was really bright, so that kept me up all night.
This is the second time that people in this area have been hit by strong summer storms. For now, the Island Lake community works hard to rebuild. It's a process that won't be finished anytime soon. In Island Lake with Adam Jaganich, I'm Chelsea Moe, KQDS Fox 21.
We'll be right back after this.
All right, final look at the weather. What we got coming up here tonight?
Well, tonight will be a little bit muggy, but at least it'll be clear out there tonight. It's temperatures in the lower 70s, upper 60s, and then tomorrow another hot one. Temps in the 90s once again, but at least no showers and thunderstorms in the forecast.
Gotcha. And as you know, we've been out of power. This is a tape broadcast, but we're sending it to you from.
Yeah, London Road Rental Center. They let us borrow one of their generators, so we want to thank them a lot to make this all possible and keep people updated.
It's always nice when the businesses all work together. You know, we're all on the same block here. So that's going to wrap it up for the news at 6 o'clock. Thank you for making us your choice for news. News is going to continue just a few hours. At 9 o'clock, we'll have the latest for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe and cool.